What the author talked about on that page, as far as advice to middle schoolers, that's pretty much the same advice that I've given the kids that I've taught in fifth grade, going to sixth grade. I did teach middle school for about 2 years and would remind them of that every now and then. I think the other thing too that I tell them is that, there's no such thing as forever, never, and always. So when they have a feeling or they have a situation or somebody's mad at them, that's not always going to be the way that it is. But I really liked how she talked about, stay away from the negativity, stay away from the drama. I probably could have put myself on record for that piece of advice. And, just try to, the best you can, try to, just be who you are. I really like that she encouraged them to go up and make new friends, because a lot of them will not do that. So students with vision impaired, I would do with them, I think what I would do with any student is read the IEP. My big goal this semester is to make sure that, or this year rather, is to make sure I have all of my lessons pre-planned, pre-prepared, everything ready to go. So either the kids can just pick it up, or they can, or I can pass it out to them. I think that I would also want to talk to the parents, ask them what they think that they need to be successful. Now is about the time when I'm going to start looking through IEPs. I think I start tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and making sure I have all the equipment that we need. I'm actually working on trying to get some restroom equipment that I think that we need to foster independence and encouragement. And I'm trying to do as much team building in the classroom as possible so that everybody feels as if they belong. I really like the suggestions that they had in the book for ADHD. I also have ADHD. My stepson has ADHD. My husband has ADHD. And those are actually some of the skills that I'm working on now. I wasn't diagnosed until late in life. I do take medication, but that's not a fix all. So right now I am working on my organization and the timers and things like that. I wouldn't want to implement any apps unless I talk to the parents first, see what they're doing at home. That would probably be the most important thing. Um, and then I would have to research, as far as I would probably ask around and make sure that I knew what the app was connected to and what it does. And if the parents don't like the app system and they're working on it with calendars and pen and paper, we could switch to that as well. I think the important thing would be to make sure that in their learning plan, they have a calendar, they're filling it out every day. We would probably, something that we would do for the morning would be to check in with everybody and ask them what their plans are for the day. If it was like meal prep or meal planning, something like that that they were working on. Um, as exit slips, even talk to them about, ask them what they're planning to do to meet their goals when they get home or over the weekend, and start to work on the forward thinking and walk with them through the steps. I think it even said this in the reading, like the exact steps that they need to go through to meet that goal. And I think the most important thing would be to also get the other teachers involved too, if they do um, switch classes frequently. So I actually studied Kubler-Ross a lot in high school. I went to a Catholic high school, and I had a teacher who we talked about the steps, we learned the steps, and then we talked about, is this a viable model or not? I think it is, because I know, and it's helpful as far as if you've gone through something and you don't know what you're feeling. Um, here's something in black and white that can kind of help validate how you feel. However, where I think it could use little help is understanding that those aren't really, it's not, grief isn't a linear progression. So, especially if you're dealing with somebody with brain trauma injury, if you've got a specific instance, or, maybe you're having a specific conversation and they forget something that you remember fondly, or a person, or they don't react to something that the way they used to, that grief for the person receiving it is going to kick in, and it could be anger or sadness. So just having people understand that you don't just experience them once and then stop.